I want to go different direction. Let's go to a lighter note. You know what I'm saying? Let's roll. There's a lot of music beef in the music industry. I'm assuming you're very know what's going on. Obviously related to the topic that we just had, J. Cole and No Name. J. Cole releasing a song about a tweet that No Name made. Whoever, people that don't know who No Name is, she is a rapper as well as an activist, as well as she runs a book club, I believe, that as well as a feminist and an activist. And she doesn't rap as much now, but she does have great projects I've listened to before. And she tweeted about celebrities not using their platforms to speak up on what's going on. And obviously J. Cole replied, thought it was about him, because as we all know, J. Cole is a hell of an introvert. He does not tweet. He does not speak on various things unless he's bringing out music that is related to the times. So a lot of people took that as watching tones, and like, why are you telling a woman to watch her tone or how she speaks or whatever. And I was just like, it's a big L for Cole, but at the same time, it's like, people should know this. If you're a stan of hip hop or you're a stan of J. Cole, you should know that this man will do his activism through music, his art, as well as in the public eye. He will go to the front line and he will speak on it there. He doesn't have to tweet about it. He doesn't have to tweet about his life or anything like that. Like, we didn't even know, a lot of people didn't even know he was married until he literally said he got outed by a friend of his that was interviewing him, saying, "Oh, how's married life?" He was like, like, no one knew until that specific time. So this shouldn't be a surprise. But I think he felt away in the sense of what he was doing was he was there. He was, showing the support without words, and using actions. And he felt like the shoe fits for him in that tweet. And obviously she's replied about it, of what's going on. So I think that J. Cole just got to take this L at this point.
I think there's an interesting point to be made around, celebrities that aren't necessarily using their platform on issues like this. But I don't actually know enough about what's been going on, because how my music's set up, I like what I like, and I kind of I stay within. I used to be like mad clued up on the state of most genres, because I produce as well. Like, I haven't produced in a while, but I used to produce very, very frequently. It was part of what I felt was my job to be like, yo, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. But it's been a fact for me, talking about J. Cole, that you don't know about the guy until the project's released, and then you get filled in through the music. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of how it's always worked. But I think if you're telling someone, is it to watch their tone?
One of the lines. That was one of the lines. Yeah, it's I'm not using the right wording, but it was definitely about something about watch your tone and various other things like that.
Yeah. So some people will be like, well, it's just a hip hop beef. So it's just like, you can say what you want to say. It's only a beef. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, you're in a climate now where you're being watched, and every lyric is being deconstructed, analyzed. So even if you didn't mean that line in a particular way, basically the rap game has become GCSE English language and English literature, where you've got lines that people are going, so he must have meant this when he said that, or he must have linked that with this, or people are analyzing lyrics like they are bodies of work. So he should have known better, and maybe there was an element of just being like, I don't care, say what I got to say, whatever. But contextually, particularly now, you should know better than to not use that in a track aimed at somebody, and not expect people to be kind of angry by it. I've always been a fan of J. Cole's music, and always respected the artistry, but I feel like most musicians I look up to have let me down at some point, so I don't get too attached. I don't get too attached because it's just like, I don't want to get my heart broken, man. I used to love like, I mean, I still do, but like, my heart broke when I realized D'Angelo was like into all kind of like drugs and shit, and I was like, I was young at the time, and I was like, bro, what? Like,
I idolized you to a degree, man. Why are you doing this?
yeah, but then it's part and parcel of being human, making mistakes. But I feel like, and this is a lesson for people in general, if you make a mistake, don't just skirt over it. Just be like, look, man messed up, and like, I made a mistake. Like, I'm not even trying to put it right. I'm just acknowledging it. You move. That's what you've got to do sometimes. But again, it goes back to the masculine sort of pride, maybe, or ego, and just being like, nah, man, this is what it is. It's hip hop. It stays where it is. Or, but I mean,
People's thing about it, innit? People's thing about it is just crazy. But yeah, J. Cole, just take your L. Just learn that from it. Just take it.
We all take L's, especially in music. Like, you ain't gonna.
Yeah.
You know, trying to think.
Did you ever think of J. Cole taking an L like this?
No. To be honest with you, I didn't know. Like, I think I might have seen it on Kurt's story, actually. And I didn't really connect the dots because, like I said, I'm into music, but I'm not deep into it. And I just thought, oh, Cole's been out for something, be interesting. But then when I'm sort of connecting the dots, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have thought he would have been caught up in something like this to a certain extent. But, you know, like I said, nothing surprises me like anymore. And I mean, people are human and they make their mistakes anyway, not to kind of brush that under the carpet in any way. But, you know, I feel like I wouldn't have expected it from Cole or people. You know, I've always held kind of Kendrick and Cole in terms of hip hop, like contemporary, like last 10 years or so, above everybody else. Maybe I'll add some people in there as well. I've probably disrespected bare artists.
there are a few artists there that we could put up. But as you said, in contemporary as well as wordplay and current times, like Kendrick and Cole are in the top. There's no debate in there. So
so you know, I've held them to a certain extent up there, and you would expect them to understand the system and the way the politics of stuff works better. Like, I wouldn't expect Kendrick to get involved, and I wouldn't have expected Cole. But, you know, things happen, and people get drawn out in the heat of things, and sometimes, you know, not being aware of context. But I think in terms of music, I think what you'll see as a prediction of the sort of Black Lives Matter movement and being locked in, you'll have a lot of introspection expressed through people's music, because it's impossible for you not to be locked up for 3 months and not start doing some soul searching. I did, and you know, and I'm sure you did as well. Like, you just start thinking about it, like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I need to work on this, and it channels its way into the art form. That's just how art is. So I'm expecting some fire releases moving into sort of the last quarter of the year in terms of like introspective rap, and you know, so that's my favorite rap. You know, I love, like, don't get it twisted. If a tune comes on with some beefy 808s and a triplet hi-hat and some like really crisp snares, I'm there. I'm bracking out. But like, in terms of actually listening deep in sound and actually like, whoa. Like, I never appreciated Akala's music actually until
same. I agree 100%.
Until recently, I'm like, yeah, I get it, because at the time I was like, this guy is just waffling, bro. Like, I don't understand what he's saying. But as you start to understand the system or life more, you're like, yeah, I like listening to that, because it's an analysis of culture. Whereas you know, most of rap or mainstream rap at the minute is about material possessions or how many gal you've got in X area code, and it bangs in a club setting, it bangs in the gym, but like in terms of actually like music that just hits a little bit different, you've got to have like that sort of, I don't like to call it conscious rap, I feel like that's the 90s term.
No, that's right. It's to a degree it is. Like, there's no denying on the genre. Like, Kendrick and Cole have been top of that game since they've come out, mixtape wise as well. So like, as an example, when Kendrick drops Pimp a Butterfly, and then when J. Cole drops A Forest Hill Drive, those albums were in the current times. of as well as storytelling. So it is where it is, and we have to relate to that. But to be honest, the only L that I could have predicted for J. Cole was the versus one, the versus show. Because if he did a J. Cole versus Kendrick, I don't know. I think J. Cole will lose. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's a few of my friends that would agree with that. I mean, listen, if I'm honest with you, like, I didn't think to kind of compare and sort of add the sort of similarity. I didn't expect Stormzy to body Wiley how he did. So in my head, I'm like, I was expecting Wiley to just dip him and leave. And then I was like listening, I was like, okay, I got to kind of pay attention and give respect where it's due. But like, I would like to think, I put Kendrick, I don't know though, because like, I do put Kendrick higher in terms of the ability to just think on the spot and just finish.
I would not, if I was a rapper, I would not war Kendrick. I'd rather war J. Cole.
Yeah. And
don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know why.
I think it's because, in my opinion, the versatility of Kendrick. So Kendrick can do the conscious, then he can go and mash up like a club tune, and he can come and do something totally left and still body it. So the versatility is scary. And there's a reason why people don't call both of them out, because it's just like, they're going to probably get bodied. There's a couple rappers I think could maybe do it, but like, or give them a good run for it. But at the same time, there's a reason why they stay up top and people aren't really drawing for them, is because there's a difference between being able to write club bangers and hit them top 10s and being able to rap on the spot freestyle. Because I'm seeing a man freestyle with the phone out sometimes. And I know historically freestyling is meant to be something that you just kind of, you can write and then put together. But I'm seeing man freestyle doing that as they're coming through. It's disrespectful to me, to be honest with you. I feel disrespected because I come to see you put some things together on the spot and you're just whacking out the notes and you're just kind of going through the bars.
That's different, bro. It's different, fam. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different, bro. Like, the time of freestyle is different here now. It's just different.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything about it, which is kind of crazy. But at the same time, like, they schedule these freestyles quite a long time. So there's only a handful of rappers that we would say that that doesn't do that stuff. And those two are in there. Meek, would put Meek in there. Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. But I saw Juice WRLD do a 45-minute freestyle.
That's when I was like, yeah, this kid. I want to listen to. After that actual freestyle, I actually listened to the popular project that he did that everyone was talking about, and I loved it.
Yeah, he was a talented dude. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But like that to me, because I've always had a chip on my shoulder when I see like the sort of I call them like, when I say them kind of rappers, you know what I'm saying, where it's just like there's not a lot. It's just a hook, maybe a couple verses, and you're just like, okay, all right, it bangs, but all right. But like, I'd never expected the genuine freestyle. I was watching it, I was like, there's no way he's doing this for 45 minutes. So I'm like 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay, he's showing no signs of stopping here. 30 minutes in, I'm like, right, okay, this guy can spit, but he's just playing the game a little bit. And I respect that, you got to let people know sometimes that you can do a bit of both. And it's not a question of, I'm this or that, I'm both. And I'm pretty good at both of them at the same time. So I'm just ashamed it was on Westwood, because I personally don't rate Westwood, never have done.
Hey, Westwood, I don't want to talk about Uncle Westwood, man. That guy is just, I don't want to talk about this guy. Like, that guy is just, bro. Like,
culturally.
Just right now at this time, just no. Like,
that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, that should have been for now. Like in terms of freestyles, Black Thought was one of the best that I've seen. Meek, obviously, in what he's provided me. Who else freestyle? King Los. A guy called King Los. Oh my days, that guy spit for like 10 minutes straight. I said, yeah, this guy is dangerous, bro. He used to be a battle rapper.
Okay. That's different. That's different grade.
Yeah, different breed. Those men there that used to battle rap are different breed as well.
Well, So like when I was coming as a young kid, I was into like electronic stuff. I love hip hop, and for some reason, I think it's probably family influence. I stay to like you can't for me you can't touch R&B and hip hop from say 1991 through to 2005. But the end of the 90s, do you know what I'm saying? Like the end of the 90s, untouched. Like that's the perfect.
You get samples from that. You get samples from that era. It's just dumb. Like I'm an R&B man. I'm a melodies guy. So if you give me, if you put me on like 90s stuff, like old 90s, maybe late 80s stuff as well, I am going to flip. Like I just recently discovered French R&B. Like I am spinning. My head is spinning, bruv. I've got like 2-3 songs, maybe even probably like 5 songs right now on rotation that are French. I don't understand shit, but the feeling of R&B is just new. So I'm like, yeah, it's incredible. So
D'Angelo, Voodoo is the best album of all time. That Voodoo, D'Angelo is for me, it's in my top. It's my top one. I can go through every song, and just like perfect album.
You can't skip.
No, you can't skip. It's perfect. But like saying that, I listened to Tank's album. I don't listen to Tank, right? It's on the R&B. There's an album he did in 2017. And I was like, let me check this out. So there's one tune on there, like, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is like pretty.
Tank's got catalog, bro. Tank.
But this album, I skipped it. I didn't realize. I was like, it's not I don't rate Tank. I know he's got a beefy catalog, but I was like, Tank. She's like, okay, I'll play this 2017 album, not knowing what to expect, and I was like, whoa. I was like, this is like probably one of the better R&B, like recent R&B albums, even though it's 2017 that I've listened to in a while. So it's just you can't replicate.
Joe, Genuine, Tyrese, Joe has got Donnell Jones, John B. Come on, man, that era there of R&B is just dumb.
Dwelling, Madness, and
Bilal.
Listen, Soul Sister, that's the one tune I can rinse out for like 3 rotations, 4 rotations, 5 rotations.
I've got that in like 3 different playlists. Like,
of course,
dumb.
Yeah. So like, I think that you got to pay homage to that, and like, so when I was growing up, like, it was that, but then it was also electronic kind of music. I used to produce dubstep when I was in school. I used to do all that.
Yo, dubstep got people many different places where they were doing that stuff, man. Like, I can't blame you, because at one time there was a few tunes that I was like, dubstep's lit.
Yeah, so like there's like so many different types of dubstep. There's like the sort of the screaming noisy shit, like, and there's the sort of deeper 140 BPM stuff, like the deeper stuff, which is I personally prefer more now. But like, yeah, so there's a number of different genres that I grew up on, but I think I always go back to old school R&B, and even I think even in terms of more recent stuff, like Disclosure stuff, in terms of house, again, like what's the album called? Almost my number 2 album of all time, Settle.
Yeah, I need to check that. I need to check that, because I like Disclosure as a producing group. So I need to, since I was like, oh, this Sam Smith record is Disclosure. This is wavy.
That album, Settle, has
I need to check this. I need to check it on the full. I just thought in my head when you said 140 BPM, yeah. Imagine Kendrick in grime.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine it?
I think
grime rhythm.
What when we saying grime rhythm, or what are we saying? It's like
I'm saying, what's a beat that we could use? So many classical beats, like 96 Bars of Revenge.
Okay. I think he could body it. I don't know, because like for me, like there's a certain level of aggression over grime. Like you've got to be able to like maintain the intensity of a beat. So like you've got to be able to riding a grind beat at 140 is different to riding like a trap beat at 140, because it's just there's so much more. It's simpler, but there's so much more going on with the frequencies. So you've got to be able to match that. If you can't match the energy, even if you're a lyricist, you kind of get drowned out by the sounds. So I think he could do it, but I would like to see him more maybe like the P's and Q's beat maybe, or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's
Mic check.
Yeah.
I think he could do a mic check. I'm not gonna lie. Because speaking of the Stormzy and Wiley beef, when he did mic check, I was like, ooh, I haven't heard this beat in a while. So after watching that, I played the Kano version, and I was like, yeah, certain rappers can do grime. Like US rappers can do grime. So like, obviously Kendrick is one, Busta Rhymes is one.
Yeah, of course.
Twista, I think Twista, Busy Bone could be one. I don't know who else, man, that could do grime. Obviously, there's a Jay-Z song that's grime, but yeah, we don't know. I'm still hoping that DJ Green Lantern leaks that for me, because obviously, if you don't know, there is a POW remix with Jay-Z rapping on there.
Oh my god!
And he played it when,
about that.
yeah, and he played it during concert. And I believe even Bizzle didn't even know about it until he found out through a footage. So Bizzle doesn't even have it. The only person that has it apparently is Jay-Z and DJ Green Lantern. So
that's the most valuable dubplate in the world. You know that, innit? That's the most valuable dubplate in the world. Like, whoever's sitting on that beat, whoever's sitting on that version, they got the most valuable dubplate in the world.
That's one of one. That's never that you can't copy that. You can't do a copy and paste and send that to someone, because they will leak it themselves. You have to keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
So
like I'm saying, I'd be interested to hear that. I mean, there's a few guys that I think could transition over into grime, but I feel like grime as an art is kind of not dying. I hate to use dying because it's still very much alive, but in terms of mainstream, you're starting to see guys occupy that sort of US kind of sound, like the sort of auto-tuney kind of
the trap stuff, like the
trappy
beats.
stuff.
Beats.
Which is great because it's got that. It's kind of showing how like the two scenes have almost influenced one another over time. But what made the UK scene so distinct was that aggression. The sounds were different. Like even bassline beats are just disgraceful. Like they'll turn up every.
Like, I don't know if people will remember this when Skepta and Jammer had a beat battle on Instagram Live.
Right.
That beat battle, I was just listening in, fam. These men have beats for days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because I think Skeppy's gonna come back with a grime album soon, or a grime tune.
Yeah.
100%. Either that or it's not. If that won't happen, it's going to be a Boy Better Know project. It has to be. So I hope that will happen as well. But in terms of music beef, Drake and Swiss Beats as of recently. So I laugh because I've got so much information. I found out like certain information. I'm thinking, that can't be that. It can't be that. And I'm like thinking, all right, cool. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, like Swiss Beats is one of my favorite producers. It's Timbaland, Swiss Beats, 1 and 2. Like Swiss Beats is my second favorite producer. Like the catalog of beats of Swiss is just dumb. Like the beats he's made is dumb. And so I just wanted to
I put Pharrell in that category as well.
Oh, of course, Pharrell Neptune's in there as well. Like, but Timbaland, like. I grew up on them drum beats, bro. And like the one day is one of my ego trips. He liked one of my Instagram beats that I made there. So Timbaland dropped in and just liked it. That was it. My year was made, bro. Like when Timbaland comes in,
he said, "Yes, he knows me."
like, yeah, this is fire. I was like, I'm gonna stop making beats, and I'm just gonna tell everybody that Timberland just said, yeah, I like this beat. So
Timberland, you be like, Timberland, back in the day, Timberland called me, innit? And he saw my post. He called me. He's just like, yo, that be fire, you know? And
yeah,
yeah, I was like,
yeah. I mean, he was always my favorite anyway. But like, it's Timberland, Swiss, Pharrell, and then I don't. It's kind of those are the top kind of three for me, like of all time.
Yeah. There's a few that I would add in that list, but they wouldn't be. That's after them three. That's after them three, definitely. But obviously, we all know Versus, which is the platform that Swiss and Timberland created on Instagram Live. Recently, it was Alicia Keys versus John Legend. I'm not gonna lie, John. I underestimated John Legend because man has catalog.
Yeah, he does.
I forgot. Man had. I forgot that he has an album with The Roots. I forgot that he has songs with Common.
Yeah.
I forgot that he wrote American Boy for Estelle. I forgot so many things, and I was like, oh, I apologize because that shouldn't have happened. I'm so sorry. But I think personally, I'm an Alicia Keys fan. She's like top three female songwriters and singers for me at this moment in time in our generation. So it's mad. But after that, Swiss went on live with Busta Rhymes, and they were just talking and stuff. And during this time, there is a Drake and Busta Rhymes song that got leaked, but it was produced by Jay Dilla.
What? What do you mean? Like, man, Jay Dilla's got to go in that top three though. Like,
Jay Dilla's there. I forgot. Jay Dilla's and Pharrell are in that top five. I don't know the order now. But we all know that there is production by Jay Dilla that Busta Rhymes has. That he probably hasn't even released yet. Like, there's so many. So how this song was created was basically that Drake asked Busta, because he has ties with Jay Dilla's camp and family, that I want to rap on a Dilla beat. And he gave him one. And also that there was actually not meant to be a Busta verse. But Busta Rhymes put a verse in there anyways. And to be honest, we all know Busta Rhymes is very well known for that in certain tunes. So I listened to this leaked song, a snippet of it. It sounds like it could have been on the first album. Like Thank Me Later. That album, yeah. And I said, ooh, this is good. I wished it was on the album. I'm not gonna lie, that might have been the best song on the album by then. But obviously, but due to some certain things, I don't know, from either it was OVO or Busta Rhymes side or Jay Dilla's side, it never got cleared. And he was just saying, like, I don't know what happened in that end. I actually don't know. I don't know how it leaked as well. So I just liked the song, and I did it for him, and it was cool. And Swiss says about, don't talk about the Batty Boy. He goes into his Jamaican thing, and he just says, don't talk about that Batty Boy. He didn't do it a Batty Boy. He did a Batty Boy. He didn't put the W in between B and O. So that's how you know he American. So I was thinking, why is he saying this?
About who? Drake?
Yes.
Fun.
Because we all know it can't be about Alicia Keys, because he has bangers with Alicia, as well as, you remember Fancy?
Yep.
Oh, you Fancy, huh? Obviously, that's a Swiss Beats song. He's in the song with him as well. And there should be no problems, as we thought. But apparently there is. He keep calling him, I don't want to talk about that guy, and hate. There's like a little bit of hate or something like that. And apparently it's due, and it came out the next day saying, that was the liquor, man. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. Where it did blame it on the alcohol. You know what I mean? Like flipping JB Fox and T-Pain, blame it on the alcohol thing. I'm thinking, what's this guy doing? And then, if you know OVO and who's in the camp, there's a guy called Chubbs, and he's like a certain type of manager, bodyguard type of thing, maybe as well. He's just a part of the camp on OVO, and it was his birthday the same time that Swiss Beats did the apology. So Chubbs just posts on Instagram story and say, don't do that. We know that you don't like us now. Keep the same energy when we next see each other, pussy. So that was it, done. And I thought, raw, is there actually beef with Drake and Swiss? Because this is new information to me. So it can't be about Alicia, because we all know there's no way that Drake could get Alicia. We know his track record. There's no way. It's impossible. Imagine if it was. Mad thing. Imagine Drake just like low key just did a thing with Alicia Keys. Swiss would be flipping. So it can't be that. But what group is Swiss Beats a part of?
I'm not sure, but in terms of record or label or just
like group, he is a part of a certain collective.
I mean, he's produced for pretty much everybody, right? But
what's the name of his collective that he's a part of?
I'm not sure.
Rough Riders.
Right.
Who's in Rough Riders?
Now you're on some conspiracy thing. All right, hold on.
Who's in Rough Riders?
You're gonna have to shout some names at me, bro. Like I said,
there's Eve. There's Eve there, but that's not Eve.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of Murder Inc. No, not them. Eve's in there. I forgot the other rapper that's in there. But the main rapper that's in there is DMX.
Right.
DMX has shouted to the rooftops that he doesn't fuck with Drake. He said it in an interview when he came out of jail on Breakfast Club. He said it then. And then he even said it on an interview last year that he said he doesn't fuck with Drake. Doesn't mess with him. And I was thinking, why? He sampled you on Views. Like if you listen to a song called, I forgot what the song called, but there's a song on there on Views that DMX got sampled in. So it can't be DMX. What's the wrong with that? Why would he have hate for DMX? And then I was like thinking then, ooh, Aaliyah. Doesn't DMX have a relationship with Aaliyah and that family?
I would assume so. They came up in like at the same time, though, right?
Like, yeah, and obviously, you remember "Missing You"? I think it was "Missing You," when there's a video for that song, and obviously that was the time that Aaliyah passed, and no one spoke until that video, and you could see the first part of the song, but that video, was DMX speaking about it, like how he misses her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I dug more into this, and I think it can't be about Aaliyah, because obviously, as we know, Drake is in love with Aaliyah, loved her personality, loved her music. That's why he's got a tattoo of her and all that so forth. And I remembered the Aaliyah Drake song that leaked a few years back. Not a lot of people were happy about that. Obviously, the family don't know what happened or how it leaked or whatever. And I think that was another case of of DMX being angry.
Yeah.
And then I found out a certain information that there was meant to be an Aaliyah album of her old recordings.
Oh shit.
Remember Michael Jackson Escape album? That was the case.
Mm.
There was going to be, before that, there was going to be an Aaliyah version of that. Old recordings that weren't completed and vocals and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, who signed off to become executive producer? I thought it could have been Timbaland and Missy.
Yeah.
Why is it Drake and 40?
Oh God. See, I knew that this was like gonna come to some mad conspiracy. Like from when you started talking about it, I was thinking there's got to be more to this in it. But that is mad.
It took, and I was like, wait, so Drake and 40 were going to executive produce the Aaliyah album that was meant to come out, was rumored to come out. But at the same time, during that time, actually, that's when that song leaked. So I thought, wow, what's going on? Because I didn't know that they signed this off, but apparently they backed out due to the backlash. But that was 2 years after of signing the deal. So I was like, this can't be because of Aaliyah. There's no way. Because it looks like just a business thing. It can't be emotional.
Mm.
But at the same time, I don't know. Because why would Swiss let Alicia make a song with her, songs with him, as well as him making a song with Drake? I'm confused.
I'm confused. I mean, I'm confused at the use of Batty Boy as well. Like, it's because it comes back to what we was chatting about earlier on, isn't it? Like, once a man can start bringing emotions out on music and start talking about how he feels about people, suddenly he's become constructed as maybe not masculine enough, or in terms of like this heteronormative stuff where it's like, oh, he can't be a man's man. He can't like girls because he's so in touch with his emotion. Like, it's just, that's very interesting to me. That was the term. If he was liquored up or not, that tells you a lot about Swiss and how he views masculinity, emotions, and a number of different things of what it's like to be a man. It gives a lot about Swiss in that statement. So I mean, that's an interesting term for sure. But I mean, it goes back to it, bro. It's like, if we can't be emotional on a tune, like, what's that got to do with sexuality? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking at it too deep, but I always feel like it's important because like youngers will watch that and they'll be like, yeah, trust me, like that's facts, and it's like, well, no, it's not. It's that again. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier on about suppressing that ability to be vulnerable. And no one does it better than Drake over the years of kind of blurting out.
Listen, like Drizzy's R&B songs slap. I don't care what anybody says in it. But what confuses me more is that I get Rough Riders ride or die thing. Like, what if you did something with my crew, you offended someone, we ain't messing with you. But I get maybe DMX's point of, because obviously he had a relationship with Leah and he didn't like that the song leaked. He didn't like various other things. So I'm not sure how he got a sample from him then cleared, because but it was interesting on how that unfolded though, because I was like, Busta Rhymes in the middle of it. He's just like, listen, don't say that. Like, this is all positive shit. Like, and you know what I'm saying? So we don't really need that. You know what I mean? He done nothing to do with me. He good with me. He's like, yeah, but you know, whatever. And I'm like, if this is about Aaliyah, it is dumb. No, not dumb, but it is mad. It's mad. It's mad. And also, this is the other direction that I thought it could be. As I said before, there is a song called Fancy with Drake, Swiss Beats on production, and T.I. There was meant to be a music video for that song, actually, as a single. We were like, oh, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie when I found that out. It never came out. Apparently, there is a complication between how that never came out and this beef.
Right.
And apparently Swiss didn't like it, of how we don't know, whatever. That's whatever, but apparently that's probably the main reason. The Aaliyah thing, that was just like me just extending it and finding out information. But I think it may be because the video never came out, which is kind of a business move, but I don't know. There could be other things tied to it. But yeah, apparently that is another lane as well of that uncovering. So just being as a musician, do you think like this type of thing, like let's say you do a music video and you're excited about it, whatever, it's one of the lead singers of the album a production you did, and the video never comes out. How do you feel about that? Because possibly you could have got paid, you know what I'm saying? Or like there's other things of you setting up stuff or whatever, you do all the footage and it's like that shit's never gonna come
out. Well, I don't know if I'm the right type of producer to answer this question, because a lot of the
maybe just as a producer in general, like imagine like you just produced like this major hit in an album and it's gonna become a single and the video is gonna come and everybody's gonna know that it's me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a deep one, because I think like music videos enhance the song. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about a good music video, and it adds to the song, like for a number of different reasons. So from that point of view, I'll probably be a bit pissed in the sense that my art and the whole visualization of my art and the people who would have probably been in the video, because you know there's cameos. They might have brought in some big boys in there. You might have just been like, yeah, you know what, cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's warranting the level of beef to this day, but from my experience, like musicians sometimes can be hella petty when it comes to like past stuff. Like, you've declined to work with somebody at one point because they've asked you for a beat, but you don't think the beat's quite right for them, and they'll remember that for years, bro. Like they'll remember that 3-4 years down the line, and you know they'll just be like, yeah, I remember you didn't want that beat now, so what's good? And it's like, well, it wasn't anything personal. It's just that I didn't think necessarily that the beat worked for you. And you know, at the end of the day, as producers, like we have control over our art. Like if unless you're paying, and again, the money's got to be crazy to put some random or some person on a track that doesn't fit what you're producing, right? You just
just a little sidetrack. How much money for you would be like, you know what, the cake's too nice, I'm gonna let you go through?
I mean, it depends. Like I know people that charge, I don't know them personally, but I know like 20 bags of tune and like that, but just for the production. But
for you though, if there's a certain number.
I'm okay, so I'm particular with my sound. It's not even because I'm bougie like that, it's just I'm really particular. So if I produce something for somebody, it has to be for somebody. So like for me to have somebody else, we're talking I'm gonna sound like it. No one's gonna work with me after this. I'm gonna be like, it's gotta be like 6 figures plus, because like for me, my art and having it just taken by somebody else that might not respect it, you've got to put a price on that art. You know what I'm saying? And it's not
of course.
So like, I'm particularly OCD about it. So like, I don't produce for people anymore. I produce for projects. So I work with like spoken word performers, and I make music around that, so I can really go nuts with it. Because like commercial beats, you're really producing really similar kind of sounds. Like there's not a lot of like creative freedom, because there's a recipe for what pops and what doesn't, and you kind of take away that creative process. But yeah, I mean, if someone was like, yo, depends who, because there's some people I just probably wouldn't work with full stop. You could pay me any money. I probably wouldn't, if reality was under my control. Like I would just probably, but like, yeah, for situations like that, it'd be a lot. It'd have to be a lot, because it's my music, like, and it just, it has to fit perfect. I'm particular with it. So,
Before we end the episode, if you were the producer, one of the executive producers, of a song,
Mm.
You have one singer, one rapper, and one co-producer with you for one to make one hit. Who would those people be?
Oh man, this question's gonna keep me up tonight till 3 o'clock. I'm gonna answer it now, obviously, but after this, I'm gonna be sat in bed and be like, because there's a like, for me, God. So one singer, one rapper, one
Producer.
co-producer's got to be Timberland. Like that's there. Like that's sorted. Oh man. I'm just thinking of the fire. What it would sound like would be different. Like oof, yeah. So Timberland and me on the beat. Then I'd probably go D'Angelo on vocals because we can do a lot with D'Angelo. He's got crazy range, so we can bounce them drums around the vocals and we can make something nice with that. And I'd probably do for a rapper, Freddie Gibbs. Are you mad? I'd go Freddie Gibbs. I'm excited. So I'd probably do like a sort of mellow neo soul.
Yeah.
With some Timberland drums for D'Angelo, and I switch it into like a more of a sort of contemporary 808 bounce for Freddie, then bring it back into sort of a neo soul.
That's a good combo. I'm not gonna lie. Jeez. Timberland beat, Freddie Gibbs, and then D'Angelo on vocals, blood. That's dumb. That's dumb. That is crazy. Because I'm thinking now, because I still need to listen to the Freddie Gibbs project. Apparently, that's very good.
With what, Madlib?
Yeah, it's very good. And then there's another project before that as well that's really good. I need to check that out. Yeah. But I've heard a lot of good things about Freddie Gibbs. So I definitely need to check him out. That's probably going to be someone in my playlist tomorrow. I'm going to check out
Freddie Gibbs. Yeah, check out. There's a what's the album? I think it's just called Gibbs, or it might be Freddie actually. I think it's called Freddie. He released it in 2018. That album is disgusting. It's like so good.
There's one with him in a pink suit.
That's the album. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's the album.
It was off a certain, if it was a certain album cover as well. I forgot the artist, but I'm definitely gonna check him out. What else have I need to check out? I've recently checked out Tiana Taylor's new album.
Oof,
I am in love with that album.
She's underrated, and she will continue to be underrated because she doesn't put out a lot of music. Like, she's not one of them artists that put out like projects yearly. When the project comes,
I'm excited. I get excited because that 7 album, I don't know if you remember 7, but that was just superb. And I didn't like obviously the rollout for her album with Kanye, the whole Good Music thing. I didn't like the rollout. They took songs off, they took samples off, and because they never got cleared, they tried to make new ones. And I was like, this is before she even heard the album, by the way. So I didn't like that aspect. But this album, she actually got to create it, be super involved. No Kanye West production, I believe. I'm not too sure. I need to read the credits. But
see, you're adding things into me now. Like, you asked that question about the producer. I'm like,
Kanye over Timber. You want to replace Kanye?
Nah, but you know, like certain sounds. Like, if I was working with, say, Kanye, or even some to a certain extent, like a Swiss Beats. If Swiss Beats was co-producing, I'd switch it and go Swiss Beats, Erykah Badu, and then maybe I might just bring Gigs in. And just mash it up. Man
said he's gonna bring Gigs in and say, "Hello, man." Thing. Boy.
Just totally just bring it out, and
I'm not gonna lie, Erykah Badu vocal over Gigs beat, especially with the song Essence, with the song like the song called The Essence. Oh my Lord Jesus, that's dumb. That is actually dumb. I'm trying to think as well, but Tiana Taylor's album is beautiful. I've been listening to a lot of French music, so I was like, French R&B, yes. This guy called Monsieur Nov. found him. A guy called Tayc or whatever. I forgot I don't know how they pronounce his name. It's Tayc. He's got a few records that I like. I've been listening to old school too. Like,
of course, you have to.
Yeah, especially with these clashes, like versus NS10 V10, you have to be listening to bangers or like.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to some Haitian bashment, which has been crazy. Mad. It's mad.
I swear.
Yeah, it's what's his name? Jalem Sanchez. It's mad. This like the sort of bashment beat with the French sort of, but with the delivery, but it's in French. It's a mad.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't heard Haitian bashment, but I've heard French bashment.
Yeah.
It is like some madness, and I'm thinking, raw, because I forgot there was an artist that I found. I forgot her song, but she had a song, and she was speaking in French and English, French and patois to a degree.
Yeah.
He was just killing it off. I said, "Yo, I need to be in a. I need to catch a wine. I need to be in a dance. I need waistlines all over me. Like I need it to just. Oh my days! But yeah, Haitian music. I'm definitely gonna check.
I stand corrected. It's not. I've listened to Haitian, but it's Jalem Sanchez is from Martinique, so I need to correct that, which is next to Dominica, which is where I'm from. But like, I just to clarify because I was like, when I said Jalem Sanchez, I was like, yeah, he's from Martinique. He's not from. But yeah, both are dope. But like, yeah, Martinique bashment is crazy. Dominican bashment is nuts. Haitian bashment crazy. Like there's just loads of different styles coming out. So I mean, it's crazy. But before I leave, I need to ask you a question. What did you think of Vybz Kartel's Not Okay?
Oh, the rock tune.
Yeah.
I was baffled, bruv. I was baffled.
I love rock. I listen to heavy metal and stuff when I train, but like that was so like left. It's genius because I don't even know if it's on Spotify anymore. Yeah, but like
I think it is. Hold on, let me search while you speak. Hold on.
I was expecting like, but then it started coming in with the like sort of indie rock like progressions, and I was like, yeah, and then he just starts coming at it, but like people going crazy for it in a bad way. They're like, this guy's sold out to that. They're using his government clone to make music. Like they're just like all these conspiracy theories came out. I'm like, you got to let the man do his thing. Like he's in jail for whatever reason. Like I know he's in jail for a madness, but like he's
still
probably
releasing
going
tunes.
crazy. Yeah, he's probably going crazy. Like when you make that same music over and over again, I know it's like even to like I'm not saying I'm out there as like a major producer, but I know like when I make the same style of music, I get bored, mad bored. Yeah. When you've been doing that same music for years and years, you might just want to try one thing and then think, oh, let me just test the water. And then what happens is you release like the maddest tune, and you can like the most opposite to what you do. People obviously going to like go crazy, but I thought it was interesting, like in terms of the time that we were in, to just here goes a rock tune from Vybz Kartel. Like
I was because I saw the clip on Twitter and I was just like, what the hell, Vybz rock. And then I had to hear it, and it's not on Spotify anymore, by the way. But I listened to it.
Drop that. They're like, nah.
It's probably on YouTube somewhere, in it. But yeah, I was baffled, bro. Because because he released an album called Tanisha.
Yeah.
I was baffled with that song too because those beats were quite old. They sounded old. So I was just baffled. That's why I just like old vibes. I just like old vibes.
Freaky Girl Part 1, 2, and 3, the best, the top 3 Vybz tunes from me. And there's loads, but like that is from secondary school, man. Secondary school, like just hearing Vybz.
There's too many. I've got a slow bashment playlist, bruv. There's Vybz is in there, Popcorn's in there, Dexter Daps is in there, Alkaline's in there, IQ is in there, Movado is in there. Who else is in there? What's the name? Who's the one? What's that song called? Walking Trophy. I forgot the artist that does that.
I'm not sure, but like, for me,
Let me have a look. Egyptian's in there,
of
by the way. Father Cranium's in there. You got Charlie Black is in there. The Jour is in there. Hood Celebrity, that's her.
Mm.
Who else is in here? A guy called Vianney is in here. Collado is in here. Who else? Andrew Blacks is in there.
Everybody.
But Busy as well. I had to add Busy Signal just in case.
Well, you just brought everybody out for that one. That's a catalogue and a half.
Yeah, I'm still updating it. I still need to add tunes because I know there's going to be bashment tunes that I have not heard, slow bashment tunes especially, that I'm going to have to need them to add to that playlist because,
Of course.
boy, it's summertime in this heat, bruv, I need something, man. Get me. But, bro, this is end this episode. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you to message me and just actually have a good convo, man. It's all good energies at the end of the day, innit?
Of course.
Where can people find you to get in contact with you in any sort of way? Especially with your profession, they might want to get involved in any way.
Yeah. So if you want to just have a chat with me in terms of everything that we discussed or anything in particular, my Instagram handle is just Lewis @LewisWedlock, which is that's my name.
Yeah.
If you want to find out a little bit more about what we do at OTR or Off the Record Project Zazzy, it's just @OTR Zazzy. That's our Instagram handle. We've got loads and loads of content on there for you guys if you're interested. But yeah, if there's anything you want to pick my brains about, if there's anything you want to have a little debate with me about, whatever it is, man, like, just drop me a message on Instagram and let's talk. But yeah, thank you for having me on, man. I really do appreciate it.
It's always good vibes to have like just people in general in it. So that's what it is. So yeah, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube for the visuals, Guap Magazine, we in there, Google Play, or worldwide, baby. So yeah, hopefully everybody gets to listening to that one. Yeah.